Hey guys, what's up? It's Alex here. Welcome back to another video, and today's video is going to be looking at 5 or 6 future Formula 1 drivers you should be watching out for in 2019. Now, before I get into this video properly, I want to quickly mention once again my fundraisers for my 2019 university project. We're creating a motorsport documentary and we need your support and help. So there's a link in the description if you want to find out more. There's some awesome donation tiers on there, including a really epic t-shirt, a signed poster and many others, so please check that out and let's get into the video. So the first person I've got on my list to watch out for in 2019 is Mick Schumacher. So of course, the son of the 7 times Formula 1 world champion Michael Schumacher is stepping into Formula 2 with Prema in 2019. If you're not a massive fan of the junior Formula, Prema are one of the best teams in the sport, especially in the Formula 3 European Championship. They are the team to be at. In Formula 2, they're less dominant, but they're still a very, very good team. So he's jumping to a staying at a very good team for the 2019 season. And he won the 2018 FIA Formula 3 Championship with that team. So he's staying with them for another season. Hopefully will continue the bond they have together going into the next year. But while I think Mick Schumacher probably will end up in Formula 1 over the next couple of years, it must be said his previous 2 rookie seasons in Formula 4 and Formula 3 have been a little bit all over the place. There have been glimmers of incredible sort of talent shown and other moments of a little bit of sort of averageness shown. So I think normally he comes on strong in the second season of whatever category he's racing in. So it's going to be really interesting to see whether he sort of suits Formula 2 straight away or whether he takes a bit of time, but I'm sure he will be giving his time. Of course, he's only 19 years old, so he's a very talented driver. He might need a couple of years to get into Formula 1, but I think it's quite likely in 2021 we'll be seeing Mick Schumacher in Formula 1. The next person on this list was actually battling for the FIA European Formula 3 Championship with Mick Schumacher, and that is Dan Ticktum. So he's a Red Bull junior driver, and after a great season in Formula 3 in his rookie year where he competed for the championship, we expect him to go to Japan and join the Super Formula Championship for 2019. Red Bull does seem to favour that championship over the Formula 2 Championship / GP2 Championship in the past. They haven't really ever bonded with that category, so it'll be interesting to see, because the cars, along with the punishing point system that only give points to the top 6, means that Dan will really need to be on his A game to ensure that he gets into a Toro Rosso drive in 2020. And I think he's actually going to be doing a winter championship from 2018 to 2019, either I think it's a Formula Championship in Australia or the Formula 3 Asia Winter Championship. He's thinking about doing either of those two, and if he wins those championships, that will secure enough super license points to be in Formula 1. But it's already confirmed he won't be racing at Formula 1 with Toro Rosso next year, so we'll be looking for a race seat in 2020, and whatever points he gets over the next year or so won't really matter too much, because of course he came back from his racing ban and hasn't really reached a 3-year spectrum yet. So if he can get enough super license points over the winter, it won't really matter what he does in 2019, but of course he will want to win the championship, or at least compete for the championship in Super Formula. But I think he's definitely got a lot of talent, and I think that there's a strong chance he will be battling right at the top of Super Formula. But I think all new cars to Super Formula next year might make that interesting. It might shake up the order a little bit. Maybe some certain drivers who manage to get more testing in before the start of the season will go into the year with a bit of an advantage, but we will see. So a brand new Super Formula car in 2019, including the halo and all of the brand new parts, is gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see whether Dan and the rest of the guys who are gonna be competing in that championship next year are gonna be able to adapt to it and see whether they can go for a championship and possibly end up near Formula 1. I think it's also worth mentioning a couple of Formula 2 drivers that are going to be returning to the championship for 2019. The top 3 of the championship last year all moved on, and the highest placed person that will be returning in 2019 is Nick de Vries. He's currently a McLaren young driver. Whether they'll continue supporting him into 2019 is unknown as of yet, but I'm thinking they probably will do. but Nick de Vries is the highest placed person from the 2018 season that is confirmed to be racing in 2019 in Formula 2, so it's going to be interesting to see whether he can go for the championship, and he's switching over to the championship winning team ART, so let's see whether Nick can go for the championship in the team he previously raced for in GP3. Another driver that's returning from the 2018 season is Sergio Sette Camara, and he's another very talented driver. He finished P6 in Formula 2 in 2018, and that was including missing 2 races and having quite a lot of car issues. He's also switching teams for next year. He's moving away from the Carlin team, which is quite interesting, and it's going to be it's going to be interesting to see whether he manages to secure the championship. I think it's really going to be between Sette Camara, Nick de Vries, and maybe Nicholas Latifi are going to be 3 of them, the main people we'll be seeing going for the championship in 2019. Whilst Nico Latifi isn't confirmed for Formula 2 in 2019, he's been doing testing with dams over the previous couple of days, and it looks quite likely that he might sign up for another season. But going back to Sergio Sette Camara, he's actually the McLaren reserve driver right now, and I think it'd be awesome to get a Brazilian driver back in the sport. Of course, there's a iconic history of Brazilian motor racing drivers in Formula 1, so I think it would be great to see him back in the sport. But that's just a quick mention of a couple of the Formula 2 returnees, and they're probably going to be the favourites going into the next season. Of course, having 1 whole year of brand new F2 car experience will be invaluable going into another season. So if we go back down the ladder a little bit and look at some drivers that raced in GP3 and Formula 3, David Beckman was a surprise driver in the GP3 Championship in 2018. He switched teams halfway through 2018, and he was definitely the best non-ART, who are the best team on the grid in GP3. He was definitely the best non-ART driver towards the end of the season. He secured 3 wins. So it's still unsure whether he'll stay in the new Formula 3 series that is replacing GP3, or if he will make the step up to Formula 2. But the problem is a lot of the competitive seats in Formula 2 for 2018 are already being filled, so it's going to be interesting to see whether he gets that opportunity. If I were him, I know I'm not him, but if I were him, I would stay in the new Formula 3 Championship for another season. I think he's shown if he gets the chance in the top team, he's probably going to be right up there for the championship. He was winning races in a sort of a midfield team, one of the maybe 3rd or 4th best team on the grid, so he was winning in a car that definitely wasn't probably capable at certain times. So pretty impressive stuff from David Beckman. I definitely would say wherever he races he'll be competitive, but I think for him he probably should stay in Formula 3 and win the championship. We go back over to Formula 3. It's worth mentioning Yuri Vips. He finished P4 in the F3 2018 season and has recently joined the Red Bull Junior program. I assume he'll be in the new Formula 3 series, which is taking over GP3. I can't see him making a step to Formula 2 just yet. He's still very young, and I can see him staying in this level of motorsport for another year. He's, as I said, a very talented driver, and I think it was quite an interesting rookie campaign. Of course, not quite on the level of Dan Ticktum, but it obviously impressed Red Bull enough to sign him up to their young driver program. But of course, the young driver program of Red Bull is quite ruthless, so if he isn't competitive straight away, we might see him getting dropped by the end of the season. So the pressure on him is pretty immense going into this next season, but I think it's quite likely we could see him moving up the ladders, and I think with the support of Red Bull, if everything does go his way, I think we could really see this guy come towards Formula 1 and possibly be a Toro Rosso driver in the next couple of years. And as we get towards the end of this video, I think it's worth mentioning a couple of other drivers that raced in the FIA F3 Championship this year. First off, Robert Schwartzman, a really good campaign from him as well. He's a young Russian driver who looks really he's progressing well. And I feel like there's a chance, especially with obviously Russian backing, that he could be in Formula 1 over the next year, or at least be in a test driver on the next couple of years. We will see whether that Russian backing continues. And for any British fans out there that are looking for other British drivers to look for in the 2019 season, Inam Ahmed is someone you should definitely be watching out for. He won multiple races in the Formula 2 Championship in 2018, and he wasn't in the most competitive team team on the grid, so he did a good job to secure some victories, and I'd assume he's probably going to be racing in the new Formula 3 Championship, which is going to be set up relatively soon, and I'm sure we will see him probably graduating to that class, and hopefully he can secure himself in a good team, and I think if he can, he'll probably be battling for the championship like a few of the other people we have mentioned. And the last people on this list are a couple of GP3 drivers, Mazepin and Ilott. Both had strong GP3 seasons, finished second and third accordingly, behind the eventual winner Hugh Burr. Hugh Burr is also someone you could put on this list as well. There's a lot of drivers you should be watching out for, and basically what I'm saying is, if you haven't already, be sure to just check out all of the racing categories below Formula 1, the European Formula 3 Championship, sort of the World Formula 3 Championship that's brand new for 2019. The F2 Championship is very good as well, and just so many sports you can watch. And if you can get coverage of Super Formula in Japan, I definitely recommend watching that as well, because that's where a lot of Formula 1 teams seem to be putting their talent over the last couple of years. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy the video. Please remember to drop a like on it if you did enjoy, and let me know if you're going to be supporting any of these drivers over the coming years. And also, just another reminder, if you are interested in helping me out in my university project, we're creating a 20-minute awesome motorsport documentary, and we'd really appreciate your support on that. All of the information is down in the description. It's down as a dream documentary, following your dreams. It's going to be really fun. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you all around soon. It's been Axe, and I'm out here. Goodbye.